Before there was a deliverer, there was a people in chains. Egypt, the greatest empire the ancient world had ever seen. Its pyramids pierced the sky. Its armies marched across the earth. Its pharaohs ruled as gods among men. And yet, inside this empire of glory, hidden beneath the shadow of its power, an entire nation was suffering. The Israelites, descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, a people born from a promise God had made centuries before, that they would become a great nation, that the whole earth would be blessed through them. But right now, that promise seemed very far away. Their growth was a miracle, but it became their curse. A new Pharaoh rose over Egypt, a king who did not know Joseph. He looked at this growing Hebrew nation and felt only one thing: fear. And so the whips came down, the bricks piled higher, the backs broke under the burden. But the harder Egypt pressed them, the more they grew, and that terrified Pharaoh even more. And then Pharaoh crossed a line no king should ever cross. He summoned 2 Hebrew midwives, Shiphrah and Puah, women whose entire lives were devoted to bringing life into the world. Kill the sons. Let the daughters live. But Shiphrah and Puah feared God more than they feared Pharaoh, and so the babies lived. Pharaoh cast his command wider to all of Egypt. The great river that gave Egypt life, now ordered to swallow its sons. Into this world of terror and death, a Hebrew woman gave birth to a son. She looked at him, and she could not let him die. She hid him for 3 months. 3 months of silence. 3 months of whispered prayers in the dark. 3 months of holding her breath every time she heard footsteps outside. But a baby cannot be hidden forever. And so this mother did something that only makes sense if you understand what faith looks like when pushed to its limit. She built a basket, papyrus reeds woven together, coated with tar and pitch. She carried him to the river's edge. She placed her son inside, and she let go. Not in despair, but in faith. A faith that said, I cannot save him, but God can. She sent Miriam to watch from a distance to see what God would do. That same day, Pharaoh's daughter came down to bathe at the Nile. Her attendants walked along the riverbank. And then she saw something among the reeds. A basket. She knew exactly what she was looking at. A Hebrew child. A child her own father had condemned to die. And yet, compassion moved in her where the law had ordered cruelty. At that exact moment, Miriam stepped forward, heart pounding, standing before the princess of Egypt. The mother was brought back, paid, by the daughter of the man who wanted him dead to raise her own child. God had not forgotten. She named him Moses, saying, "I drew him out of the water." The boy who should have drowned in the Nile now walked the marble halls of the palace, trained in all the wisdom of Egypt, one of the greatest civilizations the world had ever seen. But something inside him was always pulling him back toward his people. One day, he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his people. Something broke inside him. The next day, the secret was out. Pharaoh heard, and he sought to kill Moses. The prince of Egypt ran for his life. Moses fled to Midian. He sat down by a well, alone, a man without a country, no longer a prince, not yet anything else. Even in exile, who Moses was, could not be buried. He drove away the shepherds. He watered the flocks. He settled. He married. He became a shepherd. He named his son Gershom. I have become a foreigner in a foreign land. Years passed, many years. Back in Egypt, the Israelites groaned. They cried out, and their cry rose up. God heard. God remembered. God looked. God was concerned. It may have seemed like heaven was silent for 400 years, but God had not forgotten his promise. He had not forgotten his people. On a quiet hillside in Midian, a shepherd was tending his flock. He did not know it yet, but everything was about to change. A bush, burning with fire, that was not consumed.